Can I come in here again,
Wow.
Mr. MacArthur? It's a bit of a recurring theme. You identify a problem, but not a solution. This is not a new problem. I mean, I'd say it's a huge gap. It's causing real harm. I've got a constituent. He earned £19,000 a year. He gambled that much every year. He was basically putting his paycheck into an online account 1 minute after it arrived after midnight. He was borrowing on payday loans. The company involved, Sky Bet, has a duty. It must identify customers who may be at risk of experiencing harms. It must interact with those customers. Who is responsible for enforcing the social responsibility code obligations for my constituent and other individuals?
Mr. MacArthur.
So the responsibility for enforcing the social responsibility code requirement sits with the Gambling Commission.
And who is responsible for getting redress for my constituent or an individual who has not been treated according to the social responsibility code obligations?
Well, therein lies the rub, because the Gambling Commission is not set up, is not established to produce individual redress for individual consumers. So we will want to understand how that could have happened, and if you let me have the details, I'll take it.
So this is a flaw in the 2005 Act. This gap.
We've identified the gap where we can see that we get information from consumers which we use. We can see that alternative dispute resolution fixes the contract aspects, but I can see that there is a gap.
Ms. Healy, can I get your perspective, please, on what is a very large gap that is causing harm? There's a clear evidence base. There's a gap here because individuals have no recourse under the social responsibility obligations being unmet.
So indeed, the Gambling Commission's focus is on enforcing that code against operators rather than gaining redress for individuals. And so in this instance, it's really kind of not, it's to do with the overall framework, which is the reason that the Gambling Commission isn't doing this, rather than anything that they are not doing, which they could otherwise do. Clearly, there are ombudsman and other customer complaint bodies which exist in other parts of industry, and they are structured differently depending on kind of the different decisions that different bodies have made. Either they're a number of bodies appointed by a regulator, or they're a specific body established in statute. And as part of the review of the Gambling Act, I'm sure that ministers will want to look at this issue because it has obviously been raised on a number of occasions, including by the NAO report.
Mr. Wild.
Well, yeah, I'd go a bit further than that. I mean, it seems to me that the deck is completely stacked against the individual here in favour of betting companies and gambling companies who are not held to account for it against individual action, where at the heart of protecting problem gamblers is identifying customers who may be at risk of experiencing harm.